Have you ever felt like you're trying your best, doing everything right, but there's always something or someone trying to ruin it? It's frustrating, right? You plant good seeds, you work hard, but somehow, weeds just keep popping up. Well, Jesus told a story about this exact feeling, a story that holds a powerful secret about patience, justice, and the ultimate harvest. Stick around, because this ancient parable might just change how you see the world and your place in it forever. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into one of Jesus's most thought-provoking stories, the parable of the weeds, found in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 13. It's a story about a farmer, a field, a faithful servant, and a sneaky enemy. But it's so much more than that. It's a story about us. Let's set the scene. Jesus begins, "The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a man who sowed good seed in his field." Imagine this farmer. He's diligent, hopeful. He carefully prepares the soil and plants the best quality wheat seeds he can find. He envisions a bountiful harvest, a field of golden grain swaying in the breeze. He does everything right. He then goes to rest, content with his hard day's work. But then, something happens under the cover of darkness. Jesus continues, "But while his men were sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away." Notice the details here. The enemy acts in secret, at night, when everyone is vulnerable. He doesn't destroy the wheat directly. His plan is more cunning. He introduces something that looks almost identical to the wheat in its early stages, but is ultimately worthless and harmful. This isn't just a random act. It's a deliberate, malicious attack designed to corrupt the good work of the farmer. So, the seeds sprout. The field comes to life. But as the wheat grows, the workers notice something is wrong. Alongside the healthy stalks of wheat, these pesky weeds are growing too, competing for sunlight, water, and nutrients. The workers are alarmed and confused. They go to the master of the house and ask, "Sir, did you not sow good seed in your field? How then does it have weeds?" Their question is so relatable, isn't it? It's the cry of a confused heart. "I thought I did everything right. I started with good intentions. Why are things so messy? Why is there so much trouble and heartache in my life, in my community, in the world?" Have you ever asked a question like that? You try to live a good life, to be kind, to follow a path of faith, yet you still encounter struggle, betrayal, and negativity. It can feel like an enemy has been at work in your own field. The owner's response is calm and certain. He says, "An enemy has done this." He doesn't blame his workers. He doesn't question his own seeds. He knows exactly what happened. He recognizes the work of an adversary. Now, the workers, in their zeal and loyalty, have a very practical solution. They say, "Then do you want us to go and gather them?" Go. It seems like the logical thing to do, right? See a problem, fix a problem, uproot the bad stuff so the good stuff can flourish. Let's get in there and start pulling out all the weeds. It's a desire for immediate justice, for a clean and perfect field right now. But the farmer's wisdom is deeper than their enthusiasm. He gives them a surprising command. "No," he replied, "because while you are pulling the weeds, you may uproot the wheat with them." Think about that. In their early stages, the wheat and the specific type of weed mentioned, likely darnel, are almost indistinguishable. A hasty attempt to purify the field would inevitably cause collateral damage. In trying to get rid of the bad, the workers would accidentally destroy the good. The farmer values his wheat so much that he is willing to tolerate the presence of the weeds to protect it. This is a powerful lesson in patience and trust. How often do we want to rush to judgment? We see flaws in others, in our churches, in our society, and we want to fix it immediately. We want to separate the good from the bad, the saints from the sinners, right now. But the parable suggests that this isn't our job. Our human judgment is flawed. We can't always see the heart. We might mistake a struggling wheat stalk for a weed, or vice versa. Trying to clean house ourselves can do more harm than good. So what's the solution? Is the farmer just going to let the weeds take over? Not at all. He has a plan, a perfect timeline. He tells his workers, "Let both grow together until the harvest." This is the core message from Matthew 13, verse 30. Let them grow together. It's a call to coexist for a time, to trust that the owner of the field knows what he's doing. This doesn't mean we should be passive or indifferent to evil. It means we focus on our own growth. We tend to the wheat. We nurture the good things we see in ourselves and in others. We live out our faith, produce good fruit, and trust God with the ultimate judgment. It's a radical call to focus on being the best wheat we can be, rather than being an inspector of everyone else's weeds. And then comes the climax of the story, the harvest. The farmer says, "And at the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, first gather the weeds and bind them in bundles to be burned, but gather the wheat into my barn." This is where everything gets sorted out. The harvest is the time of judgment, the end of the age. And notice who does the sorting. Not the initial workers, but the reapers, whom Jesus later identifies as angels. They have the divine wisdom to perfectly distinguish between the wheat and the weeds. There will be no mistakes. The weeds, the source of corruption and trouble, are gathered and destroyed. This signifies a final, definitive end to all evil, suffering, and injustice. It's a promise that one day, all that is wrong will be made right. But the wheat? The wheat is gathered into the master's barn. This is a beautiful image of safety, security, and eternal reward. The barn represents the kingdom of heaven, a place of belonging and celebration with the owner of the field. The wheat, which endured the presence of the weeds, which grew strong despite the challenges, is finally brought home to its rightful place. So, what does this parable mean for you and me today? It teaches us that the world is a mixed field. Good and evil coexist, and sometimes it's hard to tell them apart. It asks us to be patient, patient with God's timing, patient with others, and even patient with ourselves. We are all works in progress. It also challenges our desire for immediate earthly justice. Our job isn't to uproot everyone we disagree with or deem unworthy. Our job is to grow, to be faithful, to be the good seed planted by God. How can you focus more on cultivating your own spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, rather than judging the state of the plants around you? How can this parable help you show more grace to those who are struggling, knowing that only God knows the final harvest? This story is a profound source of comfort. It assures us that God is in control. He sees the enemy's work. He knows the weeds are there, but his plan is bigger. He is protecting his precious wheat. He is protecting you. Justice will come, but in God's perfect time and in God's perfect way. Your struggles, your faithfulness in a complicated world, are not in vain. The master of the harvest sees you, and a place is being prepared for you in his barn. Let this ancient story sink into your heart this week. When you feel frustrated by the weeds in your life or in the world, remember the farmer's wisdom. Let them grow together for now. Focus on being the best wheat you can be. Trust the harvest. Trust the harvester. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore this incredible parable. I hope it brought you some encouragement and a new perspective. If this message resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content that dives deep into the wisdom of Scripture. And I have a special request. If there is something on your heart, an intention, or a person you're praying for, please share it in the comments below. Let's create a community of prayer right here, supporting each other as we grow together in God's field. We will be praying for every single one of your intentions. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.